Hi, and Assalamualaikum, all the students. We continue our lecture today, and I hope you all in good health. And this is chapter 12 and week 12. So I think next week we will finish our subject, project software project management. And today we will discuss on the managing quality. Yeah. So when you manage a software project or you develop a software or you become a software developer, so the quality is very important to to be to be included in your software development process. So when you deliver the software without quality, so the user will reject them. Yeah, they will reject the software to be delivered, or you will face a lot of problem after the implementation of the software. So the managing quality for the entire process of the software development is very important. So by right, the quality uh, it should be implemented, or it should be together with the software development lifecycle process. Once you launch the project or you kick off the project, so the quality must be in place. Yeah, uh, this is part of the process where you have to keep track. Yeah? You have a checkpoint for each of the phases. That's why we implement the software development life cycle, or we follow the software development life cycle where the SDLC provide a process or checkpoint for each of the phases. When you finish one phases, uh, and then you want to move to another process or another phase, so you need to do a quality check. So what we are going to discuss today is, first we introduce the quality. What is the quality? Yeah? The need of quality. Why we need a quality in the software project? More or less, I already described in the beginning. So the quality is very important. Not only the software, I think for all product, when you want to produce something, or if you want to provide a good service to your customer, so you need to make sure that your product is quality enough. Yeah. Although you produce a cake, or you bake a cake, you bake a biscuit and so on, you sell in online, so you must make sure that the quality of the product is good, and the delivery, yeah, of the product should be uh, good enough. And then we discuss about the quality plan. I think the quality plan is very lengthy, what need to do, but in my slides, normally I will my style of describing the quality plan is through the question. Yeah. And then we introduce the quality system. So I think this one is very short. You can read the capability maturity model, and so the capability maturity model integrated. So these two model is used by the giant company. uh, I think the latest model, like they even follow this one, or I think they don't follow this one, but they already introduced their own model. Like Microsoft, they have their own maturity model. But for medium size of the company, they looking for this model for getting the projects. Yeah? When you run the business and then you try to get the business from the giant company, example HP or Fujitsu or from Microsoft as well or Google. So this company is actually outsource their software development, uh, the development apps work across the country. They cannot do by themselves because they lack of resources. So some of the project is outsourced to India, Vietnam, and also the Ukraine country. So that country got a lot of good developer. Yeah. So in order the company, for example, Infosys from India, to get the project, so they have to certify with this maturity model. Yeah. And this model got level 1, level 2, level 3, and level until level 5. Yeah. So this is just a certificate and ticket for the company to get the project. Yeah. Okay, so what quality is required in the software project? Yeah? So when you develop a software or apps, nowadays we call it apps, yeah, web apps, mobile app. Mobile app is a application which can be run in the small gadget. Yeah? And web app is normally we call it web apps because it can be run in the web browser, through browser. If you talk about mobile app, it can be run in the Android or iPhone. Yeah. Okay. What quality software is required uh, normally? Yeah. So first is the adaptability. So what is the adaptability? So that means that when you develop a software, your software can adapt with the changes of the business. Yeah. I give one example. When I developed a banking system, online banking system in 1989, I think. Yeah, we developed the gyro system for banks international. Yeah. But what happened today? There are a lot of application uh, embedded into the application. Yeah, so that means the gyro system can adapt the new functionality or new business which the banks international grow up. Yeah? They want to compete with other banks, so they have to uh, increase or include a lot of product. For example, very simple is uh, internet banking. Yeah, last time we don't have internet, we have a fixed line. Yeah, let's say now your application is developed under Android, for example. Yeah, so let's say in 3 years we have another OS in mobile phone. They call it I don't know, example ABC OS. Then your system can adapt for the new or can run in a new OS. So this is adaptability. Or you develop your software in Linux and your software can easily port to the Windows environment. So this is adaptability. And another quality required for the software is a completeness. Completeness means whatever user require, the functionality that they ask for you to develop, then you develop all the functionality. So it called complete. And all the functionalities required by the user must be included in the final software. Another quality required is data quality. So this is very important. So when you develop the application, if you don't have a database, I think uh, you do some sort like a platform portal, portal, static portal, so they don't require a database to store the information. So when you develop a business application, of course the database of the customer, the supplier, the transaction must be stored, must be keep for future reference and so on. So this database or the record must be accurate. uh, the system must log or save accurately. Accurate means, let's say you got 10 table to be updated, and then you must make sure that all the data got same, uh, what they call it, the data integration must be accurate. So when you update this table A, you must update also table B or C or D. That depend on your design. Yeah. So this is very important, because data quality or database is the output. Output when you finish your transaction. So every day or every week or every month, the report must be produced. If your data logging is error, then you will get inaccurate information. Efficiency. So what machine resources that does it use? Does it work fast enough? Efficiency means when you develop your app must work according to what user expect. Okay, so let's say you develop one app, then the login process will take 1 hours. So this is not efficient. This is a problem. Yeah. So efficient means maybe the update process can be done within 7 seconds, for example. Yeah. Let's say when you want to view your record, it must be finished within 3 seconds, for example. Okay. So this is a rule or requirement normally considered under non-functionality requirement by the user. Yeah. So this is one of the uh, important requirement. Yeah. In the new new technology or uh, new era of business, because people wanted to process everything fast. Yeah. And when you want to update or you want to buy in Lazada, you want to shopping in Lazada, you want to make a payment, so the payment should be efficiently updated or processed. Yeah. So another quality required for the software is friendliness, very easy to use. Maintainability, very easy to maintain. When you implement the software, then the new requirement is required to be to be embedded in your system, so it's easy to construct or reconstruct it and maintain. So different people can read or maintain your application. Yeah. uh, Difficult maintainability means your software is very difficult to read or to be maintained by other people. Okay. So don't underrate this process, because the software is a long-term investment. Yeah. When you develop one software, so it will use at least 5 years or 10 years. So during that period, a lot of requirement need to be added. Yeah. And then this is where the software should be easy to maintain. Okay, another one is a portability. So can system be migrated to other environment if necessary? So let's say you develop your apps, your web apps under a window environment. So and then with regard to the policy of new government or government, they wanted that all the applications should be run under open source. So uh, they will accept only Linux. Linux is open source, so they don't want to use Windows operating system. So any any supplier who want to participate in the government projects, so the system should be uh, open source. Open source in terms of the application and also the operating system. Yeah, and plus the database. This is a common requirement fixed by the Mampu. Mampu is an agency in the government who control the technology or ICT policy in Malaysia for government project. So portability, simple word that your system can be port easily from one environment to another environment. Example, from Linux to Windows or Windows to Linux or uh, Apple. Yeah. Another quality required for the software is reliability. How often system fail to perform its function. I give one example. When you log in the SMP, so the SMP should be work accordingly. We don't want when you log in the SMP, so you cannot log in. Yeah, the system down. The system down. So this is not reliable. So this we call it unreliable system. So reliability means when user want to use it, then the system is ready to be used. So resilient is in bahasa they call it ketahanan. Yeah, how robust your system. So how does system respond to user errors or external problems? So your system should be robust enough. Yeah? When you press the error input, then they will it will respond to you that you are entered the wrong input, or you press the wrong button, or you do something wrong. Yeah, so this is a resilience. Security system protected against unauthorized access and corruption. So your apps should be embedded with the security requirement. Yeah, not all functionality should be embedded with the tight security. So security sometimes bring drawback to the application. It will slow the system. So you should design properly your application where you want to put the security features. Yeah. Of course, you must challenge the customer or your user to log in or to use the system by provide the user ID and password. That is a challenge. Yeah? System challenge the user to enter their home, yeah? To enter their application. So this is a security. Network security, application security, database security. So this is enough for software, I think, three part. Uh, Another one is testability. So when you complete your software, you must make sure that your software easily to be tested. Yeah. So how to make your system or your apps easy to be tested? So you must provide a very good documentation. Yeah. That's why I we teach you how to produce the SRA, SRS, SDP. So this is very important for the next stage of your software development life cycle. If you don't have the SRA, software requirement analysis, you don't know what is the requirement, how you want to test your system. If you define at the early stage, so you can reuse the list of the requirement for you to perform or conduct the user acceptance test. Yeah. So when you produce the SRS is for system specification, and from the SRS document, so you can use the SRS specification for your system test uh, phases. Okay, and then timeliness, will software be available, properly implemented, and when needed. Timeliness means when you said that you want to produce, you promise that you will develop or you will produce your software in 1 year, so you need to produce in 1 year. Okay, so the software should be available in 1 year. Let's say not only the new development, when you do a maintenance, for example, if your software got error, for example, okay, you give a term and condition with your customer, any error can be resolved within 24 hours, for example, or within 1 hour. So you need to obey with the term and condition. So this is called timeliness. Yeah? Timeliness is based on the agreement between you and your customer. So what is this quality plan? Okay, we complete the characteristic of software, characteristic of quality software. So we got lot of characteristic or character. So when you develop a software, especially now you are in the what do you call it, workshop too. Yeah, workshop too. Uh, if you can, so include all these characteristic in your software. So you will got A plus plus. Okay, what is a quality plan? So we already described to you about the characteristic of goods software or quality software. So what is a quality plan? The quality, when you want to get a quality software, or you must provide a quality plan. Yeah, a plan. Same as when you want to get married, so you must, your father and your mother must plan the wedding ceremony, when you want to marry, when the ceremony will be conducted, when the engagement will be started. Yeah, this is a plan. Okay, so same as a quality, when you want to get a quality, you should have a plan. Okay, so a quality plan is a several documents. Several means many documents. Yeah, many document involved that together specify quality standard, practices, resources, specifications, and the sequence of activity relevant to a particular product, service, project, or contract. Okay, so when you develop a software, or we call it a software project, so you cannot run away from the service, project itself, or contract. Yeah, so when you develop a very big software project, so you need to engage with the supplier. So you need to come out, or you need to produce a contract with the supplier, with your customer also. Yeah, and there are a lot of activities mean not only the software development activities, but activity with the supplier, the customer. You need to come up with the relevant activity with the customer. Yeah? You conduct the interview, you conduct the discussion, you conduct a review session. Yeah, you request the sign off. So how we want to get the sign off process and so on. So this is a process, and to get the process quality enough, so you need to table, or you need to design, document a proper plan, yeah, from the beginning until the end of the project. For example, like I teach you in the beginning of the project, so you design the project structure. So you divide your project structure into the project management organization, software development organization, yeah, and then you need to you need you sorry, you need to choose a proper methodology to be implemented in your project, yeah, to facilitate your software development process. Introduce the standard, example the design standard. So all the design uh, should follow a framework, for example. Yeah, if you use PHP, for example, everything need to use Laravel framework, or Java framework, and so on. Programming standard, how to uh, code a program. Yeah, example, uh, the project team should avoid from using go-to statement, while statement, or case statement in the programming. Okay, so who has what responsibilities? Okay, so in your a quality plan should produce the role and responsibility. So when you have this in place, so the quality process will be easy to be conducted. We can direct to a certain person what they done, and what process they had followed, and so on. So it is very important, when you write the quality plan, the agreement of the quality plan must be get from the user, and also the committee. Yeah, everybody must agree with the quality plan. Otherwise, you just very the plan is very beautiful, very fantastic, but in actual you not follow the plan. So this is normally happen in the company. Yeah, so they plan everything. Sometimes we cannot think beyond. So the the document is right, very nice plan, but in actual we cannot perform whatever we plan in the document. So please make sure that when you plan, so you should able to follow or measure it. Okay. What is quality plan number two? So this is a uh, the question to ask, when you want to design a quality plan. So you need to ask a lot of questions. You need to ask a lot of questions uh, regarding what you want to plan. So first, who make the decision? So this is a decision maker. So you must ask who is the decision maker. Is it the head of the user? Uh, is it head of the software development team, or so on? Yeah. So when you know that the decision maker is A or B or C, and you should put his name or her name in the first box in the organization structure. So everything should be referred to him or her. And then you need to ask also, who are you building the system for? Who is the user? So you need to know your user. Yeah. Not only, let's say you develop a app for UTEM. UTEM is very big. There are many department or division. So you need to know that. Let's say you develop app uh, for bursary, for example. So you should know who is the boss of the bursary. You should know which unit in the bursary uh, is an end user of the system. You know who is the clerk, who is the chief of the clerk, you know who is the head of the unit, and so on. So when you know who is the owner of the system, it's very easy for you to work with. Yeah. And then who will do what? So who will do what is depend on the organization structure. Not only project software development team is also involved the user representative team. Okay, so let's say SRS is done by the software development team. So who want to review the SRS? Of course, the user representative. Who is the user representative? Which unit? Which department? So who is the person responsible for review? Who will sign the SRS document? Yeah, in the context of user representative. Who from the software development team, who will sign the document? So you should know this uh, this person who will do what. So another aspect that you have to ask when you draw up the quality plan, so the project structure. Yeah. You must certain the project structure, confirm the project structure. Do you need a software development division, for example? So of course the software development division will focus on the app development. So you create another division, for example, the system engineering division, perform and maintaining the server, operating system, network telco, uh, network telecommunication, database engine, security part. So under this division. Okay. So if you properly design the project structure, I think is the percentage of successful of the project will be high. Yeah, will be high. And then you must ask also, what standard and quality assurance procedure will you follow? So which standard that you want to follow? Are you want to follow ABC standard, or you need to create your own standard? I believe that most of the company, they have their own standard. Or if they don't, or they don't have enough time, they will ask the consultant to develop or to provide a standard for their project. Okay, so a standard and quality assurance process is very important. If let's say you are doing a bengkel too, right? A workshop too. So involve more than one person in the project. So this is challenge. So 4%, for example. So four person have their own preference of writing the code, writing a code. of the software. So you need to establish a standard so that for all of them, all your team members follow one standard, so that you easy to maintain and easy to make sure the quality is in a good manner. So what deliverable are you going to produce? So this is a question that you need to ask when you write down the quality plan. So just follow the slower development life cycle. For example, in the planning phase, so you need to produce SDP. So this is a deliverable. When you go to the system analysis, so you need to produce the SRA, software requirement analysis requirement, and also you produce the SRS, software requirement specification. You produce the SDD, you produce the SDP, you produce the data conversion plan, you produce the uh, software implementation plan, yeah, software deployment plan, user guide, quick reference. Now that is all about the deliverable. And finally, the uh, software object, software alpha version, yeah, beta version, release version, and so on. So that is a deliverable list that you need to table in your quality plan. So how are you going to do configuration management? Configuration management is how you manage uh, your artifact of your software project. For example, how you want to keep track your software versioning. Yeah? This is very critical. If you build your software using outdated version of the software, so the entire software will be problem. Yeah, you got error in there, you got error here, and so on, and the integration is not uh, working at all. So configuration management is very important. First, you you can make sure that your software uh, is up to date. Yeah, you make sure that your document is up to date, and you can ensure that your work, you know the progress of your project works. Yeah, how many pending, how many completed, how many in progress. So under configuration management, it will tell about all the status of your application. Okay, and then you need to use tool, or technique to control the changes. So when you start your project, so of course in the middle uh, there is changes need to be done, and then you need to control the versioning of the software. Another things that need to be included, what else? So detail of the quality assurance organization process for procurement and subcontract work. How will you plan, monitor, and report progress? So this is another thing that you need to include in your quality plan document. Include also the external process. Yeah, external process means what is the process involved when you dealing with the supplier, yeah, or consultant, or yeah, subcontractor. Yeah. So you need to do the maybe you can put the term and condition, process, separate organization structure when you dealing with the supplier, and so on. Okay, for small project may include describing the structure for testing, approach to user document, and training. So this also need to include in the quality plan. But I can say that this This thing can be derived from your software development life cycle. When you create your Gantt chart, so you need to detail out all the activity. So I think I give you an example of my previous project, my previous Gantt chart for my previous project in the industry. Okay, you can follow any quality standard in the market, for example ISO 9001 or CMM, capability maturity model. So this quality standard have their own KPI and KPA, the assessment, how to achieve, how to conduct the quality checking and so on. Yeah, so this quality standard model already table out and have their own process. You just follow it. Yeah. Okay, class. I think this quality plan, what quality required, we already discussed, and then we go to the uh, two model of quality. Yeah, that very well known in the world. Okay, first is the CMM. When you talk about CMM, when you attend the interview, so sometimes the company will ask you, are you familiar with the CMM? So don't don't get surprised. Yeah, don't get surprised. So you need to explain accordingly what is the CMM. So in short, the CMM is a model, is a framework how you want to achieve a certain quality. Yeah? How you want to achieve a certain level of quality. So capability maturity model is a quality framework. A framework means a systematic process to get a to get a good standard of your product. Let's say level 1 or level 2, level 3, level 4. Yeah. So this model is developed or created by Carnegie Mellon University. Yeah. So in 1992, it's very long time ago. Yeah. So CMM is a framework describe the element of an effective software process and an evolutionary path that increase an organization software process maturity. Maturity, yeah, means sorry. Maturity means involve a process, a level. Like you start your education with the primary school, secondary school, and the pre-university, and now you are in the university. Yep. So they got a level to get a certain maturity. So you need to fulfill a certain level of the requirement. Okay, this is about the CMM, and CMM is about process. How you it will evaluate your software development process. Is it you are in ad hoc base, uh, chaotic process, uh, to perform a certain process, or you follow a discipline process in several stages to produce your software. Yep. So I show you the very easy is to show this is a level of CMM. Okay, you see that the first level is a initial. This is a entry level. Yeah, initial, repeatable, define, manage, and optimize. So this is a level that uh, measured by the or have by the CMM. Yeah? Level 1, for example, you do you do your workshop too. Maybe you follow certain methodology. Yeah, you use agile methodology, or you use prototype methodology. So you are under this label, initial control over software in an obscure art. Maybe you are not in this stage, yeah, maybe zero stage. So in order to achieve this stage, so you should have this characteristic. Yeah. So you have a standard, you have a standard deliverable. Yeah. You, when you finish your before you start your project, you produce the SDP. Okay. Before you start your design, you have SRS. Before you start your development, you have SDD. That is a control over software in an obscure art. Yeah. Repeatable project management is in place. Broad visibility over the process exists. Define mean the software is managed in accordance with a well-defined process. So that means if you follow V-shaped model of software development lifecycle, so you follow the V-shaped lifecycle. You manage the change management, you manage the standard, you manage the design standard, and so on. So you under defined level. So management, product and process are managed quantitatively, meanings that your software project can be produce a statistic very easy. You know how much task or activity already done, pending, why pending, in progress, why is still in progress. Yeah. Quantitatively you can translate your project process or project progress with a number. Yeah, you can quantify it. And then the high level of the CMM is optimized. That means the management focus on the continuous improvement of the process. So they don't look at the basic part, discipline portion, staff come late, MC too many, missing in action. This is basic. So what the company focus is uh, on the innovation part. Yeah, on the 5 years plan, 10 years plan. Yeah, like Google did. Yeah, so they plan for Google Map is for a long time ago. So now they are control everywhere. So wherever you go, they know you. Yeah, wherever you live, they know where you live. Okay. Okay. This is a CMM level, and this is a CMM 5 maturity level, key process areas. So this is key process area. If you want to get this level, you must obey with this process. Yeah, the area. The quality assurance will check this element. So this is KPA for define. This is KPA for manage. This is a KPA for optimizing. So if you want to get this level, so you must fulfill all this level, this KPA, and you keep maintain this KPA. If you want to, uh, but the most important thing is that the the sustainability, yeah, the sustainability. When you reach at this level, if you are not sustained with this KPA, so you will fall down into the uh, previous level, or you fall down into define, fall down into repeatable. If you don't follow all this process, when the uh, quality checking is done and then you are not comply with this process, so you will go down into uh, the initial stage. Okay, class. I hope you understand what is the CMM. When you get into the interview, so you can explain what is the CMM and make sure that the interviewer say wow to you. Okay, I think this is key process area you can read by yourself. And another model is CMMI. Okay, CMMI is the integration part. Yeah? So there are many capacity model, capability maturity model. CMMI is a combination between software, uh, system engineering. System engineering is a hardware, yeah, and also the integrated product development capability maturity model. Integrated mean uh, in the factory, when you experience in the factory, uh, one factory normally, for example, uh, you go to which factory, yeah, Intel, for example. Okay, Intel focus on this system engineering, so they produce the chip. Okay, so when you go to another company, what they call it, uh, okay, let's say you go to Sony, yes, Sony company. So they produce a smart television, for example, yeah, smart TV. Okay, so they have hardware and they have also software. So this is where the integrated model should be implemented. Yeah? So in order to make sure that this both model is working, or this both process is working to get a final product, a good final product, so they have to integrate these two model, CMM and also SECM. So system engineering involve hardware, yeah, hardware and also the uh, software engine, for example. But capability maturity model is focused on the software. Yeah, normally focus on the software. So CMMI, I think you understand what I give you the example. So in the case of Sony factory, they assemble two component, a big component, software and hardware, yeah, to produce a smart TV, for example. So they need the CMMI to ensure the final product is quality enough and their quality is measurable. Yeah, measurable mean can be we can measure. Yeah, is it 80% quality, type of quality, or 70%, or B class, or A class, or C class. Okay, so I think the rest of the CMI you can read it. Yeah, it's about the CMMI is about the knowledge integration, system engineering, and software engineering, and also the integrated product process development, yeah, supplier sourcing. Or it involves also the supplier. For example, Sony, uh, their their smart TV use Android, for example, so they have to get the Android Android software, yeah, the latest software, Android software, or they use Windows, for example. So they need to get from the uh, Microsoft agent, yeah, to supply the Windows OS. Or they use Intel processor, so they need to engage with the Intel supplier. So this is a role of CMMI to make sure that all process is in place according to the standard process, and finally the objective is to get a good product, quality product. Okay, in summary, the software quality is crucial. uh, no matter what you say or you refuse to use uh, the standard of the quality, but the software quality is very important. When you produce a low quality of the software, so none of the people wanted to use your software. You use by yourself. Okay, so quality plan should be prepared and agreed before the project started, and quality system such as CMM and CMMI is a good practice for managing software quality and trust from the user point of view. So if you implement the CMM model, or you have a model to quantify your software quality, so of course people or customer trust you, right? I remember that when the Samsung produced their product, no one care about the Samsung, because they they thought that Samsung is very low class product compared to Panasonic, yeah, or compared to Sony, for example. So nowadays, the name of Samsung is in the world, in the chart of the world. Wherever you go, Samsung is very uh, a good name, very high quality. Wherever you go, people a Samsung phone is in most of the people hand. Yeah, they use a Samsung mobile phone, or Samsung Extra, and so on. So so quality is very important. Uh, Not only a product, hardware or software, people also need a good quality. Yeah, especially a student. Student should have a good quality. Uh, and of course, if you're a student, when you graduate with a good quality, a lot of company admire you. Okay, uh, that's it. See you later. Good morning and assalamualaikum.